Okay, today we will be reacting to Tristan, reacting to Joe Bartollozzi, reacting to when the director uses real bullets. All the links will be down in the description.
Today, guys, we're watching the war that used real bullets by
Yeah,
Joe
I just I
Bart.
just said
You know,
that.
this is channel. This is comment section. Let's check it out.
When the director uses
Okay.
real bullets.
This is Alexei Kravchenko. He's 14 years old, and he's also not an actor. This is
Dude, he looks terrified.
He looks a bit like Augustus Gloop from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I don't know, I can't remember which one. It was either Charlie and the Chocolate Factory or Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. But he looks a bit like one.
He must be using, like, I'm not trying to, like, you can tell they're using real bullets in this movie. Look how scared he is.
his first time on a film set. And this is not CGI. These are real bullets that are flying above his head. And these are real explosions that they're running from. And this is not a film set.
How the f did they get permission to make this?
No,
movie?
literally. What country was this film made in? Because that is not getting passed through, like, any sort of law. Real bullets. They're not actors in the first place. What? They're all like stunt doubles? Are they just getting stunt doubles to like run around in these crazy scenarios? What's going on?
Got this kid to agree to this? What are they doing? One take? Hey, make sure you actually don't stand up, by the way. You actually will die.
Literally.
Well, I mean, if you do want genuine reactions, like, to be fair, they don't really need to be actors if they're using real stuff, because I mean, there's nothing to act about. You're just actually like evading everything. So I guess that's smart. Like, do you know what? Actually, I think we should get all criminals, like people who's like pedos, murderers, all this stuff, and put them in films with real explosives in it, and we can get genuine reactions. And if some of them die, well, that's not a big issue now, is it? Like, I mean, it makes more space in jails for other people. You know, I doesn't seem like a bad idea to me, and you get a good film out of it, maybe, because they could die. Yeah.
One wrong move and the whole movie needs to get like, you need what? You need to cast someone new. Oh, sorry, yeah, we lost Joe this week. His leg's been blown off.
Oh yeah, that's right. I never thought of
What's the name of this movie? Because I remember seeing this kid. This is a World War II movie. I feel like I was gonna watch this. This is definitely on my watch list.
Dude, I've
With
never heard
real
of it.
deadly
I don't know.
parasites. This is a film unlike any
that. The real question is, do they use real mud? Yeah, no, I think I'd be out of it to do that. Like, you know.
thing you've ever seen. Spielberg.
Dude, that looked like. Am I crazy? Was that girl Greta Thunberg?
I was literally, I was actually about to say that. I was genuinely about to say that, like, but I didn't think she looked close enough to Greta Thunberg. But oh my god.
Name?
Spielberg
It looks like it.
reportedly screened it before the making of Schindler's List, and Tarantino described it as the greatest World War II movie ever made.
Wait, so this is like a big movie. I thought this was like, this is a well-known movie in the space, in like the film space. I thought this was gonna be like a really bizarre, like unknown movie that just somehow got like.
I wonder how long ago this was made. Because I mean, if it's a film about World War II, it had to be in what, the 50s, 60s. I'm gonna say at least. But like, even then, this quality still looks really bad for then, and surely they would have to go through some like really big like, surely there'd be enough laws in place at that stage in time to like stop this kind of stuff from happening.
It's well known. Okay, I've never
And
heard
what's
of it.
even more insane is the story of how they made it. Very few people wanted this film to exist. It took nearly a decade and a very, very specific moment in history. This is Come and See.
Wait, it took a decade to
Come see.
make the film?
Well, I guess it take a decade if people keep freaking die and they're using real bullets. Imagine an explosion goes off, someone gets fucking their leg comes off. Yeah, they got fined. Sorry, we got to delay the movie another 2 years.
But if it took a decade to make them, what about the kids in it? There'd be about flipping. Well, if you had someone who's 10, there'd be 20 by the time it's done. Like, how does that work?
The star of the movie's fucking dead. Like, what?
Alright, and right enough, right. So let's say 10-year-old in the film dies, then they have to get recasted. But they're not, like, maybe 6 years in they have to get recasted. But that 10-year-old 16 now. So I mean, I don't really know how a film would take. That's like longer than Stranger Things. Like, that's a bigger gap than flipping season 1 to season 5 of Stranger Things. And you're just flipping saying about like the actors being old and that, like, flipping heck.
Spoilers, duh. Yeah, I don't think I was gonna watch this movie, but to be honest with you, I feel like videos like this, I can watch the movie. I hate spoilers, but I will still watch a movie if I know what's gonna happen, but I won't be as into it. Like, I watched Fight Club, but I knew the ending, so I don't think I really got into the film at all.
Cool. I got the flipping end that spoiled for me, like.
To be honest.
Chapter 1.
But I don't think I'd watch this movie anyway. I'm not a big fan of war films.
Brutality of war.
Belarus. It's 1943. This innocent boy has just found something that will change his life forever. His name is Floria, and he's just dug up a weapon from a dead soldier. Little does he know, he's about to witness some of the most horrific things ever done to humanity.
Oh
We
my
follow
god,
him-
I thought he was gonna.
Wait, they're giving kids real guns, like. Surely this is making child soldiers or something. Also, they're giving kids live guns as well. So if someone didn't die from the real bullets that are for like the actual scenes, well, what if someone just like accidentally shoots someone? Like, that could definitely help, and I don't see, like, if I was in this film, I would definitely accidentally shoot someone. Completely accidentally, obviously, like.
Like, accidentally shoot his friend.
Oh,
Dude.
I literally just said it's not
No, you said
pre-watch.
pre-
It's not a pre-watch.
So casually.
unto
What are you getting up
humanity.
for?
We follow him as he goes from extremely eager to join the war to being harshly affected by it, and finally having the strong will to end it. The film then builds to a systematic massacre of an entire village. Civilians are
Dude, run me through the movie. Run me through the movie. Don't just, like, explain the entire plot. Maybe, whatever. He knows what he's doing. It's his video. Hey, it's his video. It's his video.
herded into a barn based off of actual accounts. The doors are barred, and the building is set on fire. And quite famously, the
Holy shit, that's a cool shot.
film includes these direct shots into the actor's face, where there's no escape from their misery.
How
But
old is
Come
this
and
guy?
See is not like other war films.
He's like one of those guys who looks really young and really old at the same time. I can't figure out if he's like 12 or if he's like 30. Because he's got like face wrinkles and stuff.
We don't follow
movie.
a superheroic soldier or see any of the famous battles. Instead,
You're following a regular ass kid that lived through that time.
the film takes place
Thanks, Joe. That's what you just said.
within villages and families and children. And the film does not revolve around heroics, but the idea of human suffering and what war does to
Holy
innocent
shit.
people.
I was eating grass.
It is
Do
equal.
you see his lips? This is one of those films, like, it's depressing. It's like, this is not a film you watch with your girlfriend. This is a film you just, like, you've had a long shift
If you're not willing to watch films like us to your girlfriend, I think you have the wrong girlfriend. Like,
at work, you're thinking about life, and it's like 2 a.m., you've had a night shift, and you just put the shit on, and you just lock it in and watch it. Like, you don't even eat while you watch this film. It takes all your attention to watch this. And afterwards, you feel like shit, but you kind of, like, gives you, like, an appreciation for life. I feel like it's
horrifying
gotta
every
be.
single time you see it. Yet at the same time, it's such a cinematic masterpiece. Everything in this movie brings you to full immersion in a way that modern cinema hasn't been able to quite replicate. And the story of how they made the film is just as interesting, if not
from the way this guy's explaining it, I think we should be using live action rounds and flipping. No, not live rounds in more films. From the way he's glazing this, like, flipping heck.
more interesting as the film itself. Chapter 2.
It's weird that it's a horror war film. I feel like this movie would make you cry. And I love a movie that could do that.
Dude,
I think
I agree with Joe so much. My favorite movies are movies that can emotionally pull me in. Because if I'm watching a movie, I feel like most movies I've seen where they at least want you to feel upset or sad. It's just sort of the way they go. You need the highs to have the lows. You need to feel sad to feel good. But a lot of movies fail, or a lot of shows fail, and it's kind of embarrassing when you're watching a film and you know they're trying to make you upset, like they're trying to pull you at your heartstrings, and they're just not getting you. So when a film actually does get me, I appreciate it so much. And normally when films get me in that way, it's because they make you think. Films, like, if someone dies and it's sad, that's one thing. But if the film makes you think, and then you get sad from thinking, then you know you're watching a good film.
I don't know if I actually get that. Do you know one film that actually got me tearing up recently? Flipping Nativity. What was it? Nativity 2? I think it was Nativity 2. Yeah, that film. Like, oh my days. Actually, that actually got me tearing up. But there was another film that always gets me tearing up. I don't know what it is. Toy Story 3 is an old one. That's a bit of a like widely renowned one. Oh, did you see back when first season one of Stranger Things came out, and what was it? Ali died. I was like 14 then. I remember I was pure bawling my eyes out of that. I was pure bawling my eyes. I don't know. I've never cried to film that much in my life. I don't know why I was so sad, but I don't know. That actually done me in. Like, there was something recently though. I'm pretty sure it was something recently. In Dexter, right? Spoiler. When Rita dies, my mum was in the room. I probably would have cried, or I was definitely very, very shocked. I don't know if I would have cried, but I was very, very shocked. My mum was in the room, and I can't really be like, oh, this, or like flipping just make a big reaction. What are you doing, Roro? What are you doing? What is this? It's film. Oh, no problem. And but she was in there. So then I sat through an entire episode with my mouth open like this to try and save the reaction until she left the room, so then I could do it, because it'd be really embarrassing if she was there. I had to wait like an entire episode and a half for her to clear on.
Those are not the best films, because like in my top 5 movies, none of them would be sad films. But I think
Wow, that's quite surprising. I'd like to hear Joe's top 5. He probably said it before.
a movie that can make you cry is probably the best film. That one of the best films you'll see. If like mid film you're like actually bawling, like it genuinely moved because for you to cry in a film, you have to actually believe the reality of it. And yes, this is based off.
That's true, but I don't actually totally agree with Joe here. I think that a film can make you think about real life. You don't need to like totally be invested in the film, but if there's like a theme in the film that's going on, like what's the film with Timothy Chalamet where he's a drug addict? Beautiful Boy. Beautiful Boy is really upsetting. It gets you emotionally like invested. I don't think I don't cry much to movies, but I get like emotional. And there's more getting emotional, just the fact that people are actually going through that in real life. I'm not getting emotional. I'm a little like I am emotional for Timothy Chalamet's character, but I'm very emotional because that is like a struggle that people actually go through, and that you can just relate it to real life. I think that is one of the best things about movies. If you can parallel it to real life situations, that is when you have a fucking crazy good movie. If it makes you think about shit like that, that's when you've got a crazy good movie.
Yeah,
What's
that's
my
very
top
true.
5 movies? Dude, that's actually really hard. Top 5. Top 5, top 5, top 5. I'd say I really like the Lord of the Rings franchise. I need to rewatch them. But I love Lord of the Rings. I'll count that as a movie. Studio Ghibli. Blah, 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 blah. Maybe Spirited Away. Maybe.
I've never watched
I've
any
got
of
some
the
up
films
here,
he's on
actually. I've
about.
got like photos of ones that like.
Before you say about the Lord of the Rings, I've watched The Hobbit. I've watched all The Hobbit like several times, but I've never watched Lord of the Rings. Um, why have I not watched Lord of the Rings? It's because I've never like back when we had cable TV. I never saw Lord of the Rings on. I've seen Hobbit on loads of times, so I've never seen Lord of the Rings get shown. So I just never seen it. And then since then, I've just never really. I don't even know what streaming service it's on, so I haven't even bothered watching it.
I feel like Boys in the Hood. Is that like an underrated?
I was like, I don't even know that
sort
show.
of
I don't watch enough
banger?
movies.
I don't know. I don't know if it's underrated, but I don't.
I just watch series all the time. I don't really like watching films. To do my head in, like, well, I'm supposed to get invested in the character in what 2 hours, and like, I can't anymore. It has to be a big long show.
Hear much people's top 5s, but I love Boys in the Hood. I've only watched it once, but I remember I had sunburn on my back, and I just laid in my bed and watched it, and then for some reason it just hit. It hit like a freaking brick. That movie was peak. Good Will Hunting. Good Will Hunting might be
I
my
also
number
don't know
one.
that one.
Good Will Hunting is like the best example of that, where it's just this kid, and it's. I love movies where they're grounded, right? So it's not like, oh, we got to save the fucking world. We got to save like, oh, I think that's what Stranger Things now is like. I do like Stranger Things a lot, but season 1 is so much better because it is like you care, like this kid, you really want this kid to succeed. And like it's so grounded. It's this mother who's lost her son, he's missing, and you're rooting for her. Whereas now it's like, oh, what, they're trying to save the world. Like it's a little. It makes sense story wise, but attention wise and like actual, like it makes sense for the story to move along like that. But for the actual like quality of the story, I think it's worse. But I'd say Good Will Hunting, Spirited Away. What other one did I say? I like The Dark Knight. I'll put a superhero movie in there. I don't even care. I like Heath Ledger.
I remember I watched. I put was it the Dark Knight or is the Batman? I think it was the Batman. I put the Batman on. I fell asleep within like a couple minutes of it. I couldn't be bothered with it in the slightest.
I like.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't Dark Knight. It definitely wasn't Dark Knight because I really want to watch Dark Knight. It was the Batman. It was definitely the Batman.
Dude, I like freaking. What's that Heath Ledger? It's like a romance film. He's got like the leather jacket on. He's like the freaking jock character, and it's the two girls.
I think I might have adapted watching this. Like, I genuinely have not a clue of half these films he's on about. If I'm gonna reference anything in this, I'm probably gonna reference a show because I barely watch films.
Put like a decent rom-com on from like the 90s, and I like it. I enjoy Freaky Friday. I watched Freaky Friday with my girlfriend. I enjoy that film. I watched the second one in the cinema. It's an okay film. It's not like amazing, but I'll watch them and I'll enjoy them. I'll be honest.
Actual accounts, so it's not really a.
Oh yeah, and my top 5 films. What might it be? I think Saving Private Ryan's number 1. Then what's another one? I think Cars. Cars is probably up there. I really like Monsters University. Like right before I started uni, I watched Monsters University. It was peak, so peak. I actually love it so much. And Nativity 2 again, it might have to be up there. It's so good. Or Nativity 1 even. Both of them are really good. Third one fell off a lot, but the third one's still good. The fourth one, I'm not even watching that. I refuse to watch that. It's so bad. It's from what I've seen of it, it's so bad. Oh, Star Wars for that. It'd probably go Saving Private Ryan, then Revenge of the Sith. No, or maybe Rogue One. Rogue One's really good. I really like both of them. I also really like the word rogue, which is also part of the reason where the channel name came from as well. You've also got Nativity's probably gonna be somewhere in there. I don't know where, and like Cars probably. I would assume that's what it's gonna be. I don't watch that many films at all. The only ones I really watch is like Pixar, and maybe the odd like serious sort of one.
Necessarily a documentary, but it's like taking off real world actions and things that occurred. But like when they rope you into a film to the point where you're so engrossed into them and the character that you cry when bad things happen, my god, that's cinematic master. That's the meme.
The best thing that's ever done that for me is The Walking Dead. I feel like The Walking Dead, I watched it in COVID. I got so encapsulated in it because there was nothing else going on. I cried when freaking Carl died, dude. It was like I lost.
I didn't cry when Carl died, but I was wrecked. I was sat there and all that. That was generally such a good episode. But I hated the fact they killed Carl. It was so good. Oh yeah, that day when I watched the Batman, I instantly put on The Walking Dead after. It was like my first time going and watching it. My girlfriend at the time recommended me Walking Dead. I'm so grateful she did because that was like the next peak couple months. Who'd I really see? Was watching Walking Dead. I get a new character, they die. I get a new character, a new favorite character, they die. A new favorite character, they die. It was so annoying. I couldn't stick to one. You had Beth that died. You had Carl that died. You had flipping Tyrone that died. You had Shane that died. There's so many more that just die, and especially in the first couple of seasons. After that, they stopped killing characters, which made it really dull. But Carl dying, like, oh my days. But like the thing that, one of my favorite things in the whole Walking Dead was that letter from Carl to Rick. That oh my days. See edits with that in it. Oh my days, so good.
The son myself.
Cinema.
There are 3 people that control.
And Carl's not even well written, and I'll be honest, his actor, as he got older, you could tell like there was like a bit of a gap on the acting range of the people on the show.
Contributed.
Wait, what's he on about?
But I still tried.
To this film that I think we should go over. First, let's discuss Elem Klimov, the director of the film. He was born in 1933 in Stalingrad, in what was then the Soviet Union. From an early age, he would experience the horrors of war, which he would use later in Come and See.
I really want to play Gerard Grovey now. I don't know how to play them up. I can barely even swear to right now, but I really want to play Gerard Grovey.
During one of the city's most devastating battles, he, his mother, and his baby brother were forced to flee via raft through a burning river into the mountains. The city was ablaze up to the top of the sky. The river was also burning. It was night. Bombs were exploding, and mothers were covering their children with whatever bedding they had.
I think you can tell this is like a passion project. Like, he's lived through this. So he wants to make it real. He wants to show people.
If it's such a passion project, you use real bullets to really, really up the ante.
What it's like. He wants to show people what he went through, what other people went through, and he wants people
By putting other people through it.
to know that like people go through this. So this is definitely a film. I haven't watched it, but I'm assuming a lot of it is just he wants awareness out there. He wants people to know this is what's going on in wars. The other movies you're seeing, they're not shit. This is a war.
I think maybe this was a revenge story instead of a passion project. Because, like, if it was a passion project, I'm pretty sure you want everyone to be safe, but you want the best acting, though. But it's a revenge story. Throw some live rounds in there. Like, maybe get a couple more people killed. Get some real fear in people. I want people to feel what I went through. That's what I'm getting from this film. Like,
A war isn't the soldiers going out to battle, the brave soldiers. There's people back home and they are terrified and they're also living through it. It's not just the soldiers. I think from I haven't watched the movie, but that's the expression I'm getting out of it.
And then
that is very true. It'd be nice to have more films that are like from the perspective of the people left behind as opposed to the soldiers, because we've had enough of them. Oh, I got one. Was it Hacksaw Ridge? Hacksaw Ridge, I'm pretty sure that's one of my favorite films. I watched that recently. Oh my days, it's so good.
In this video,
lie on top of
I don't know what's wrong with me in war films. I know everyone criticizes war films, but Hacksaw Ridge is so good. I don't care what you say. There's definitely more. I can't remember them. There's more films I watched, but I can't remember them.
As a young boy, I had been in hell.
Why is he getting
This
up?
experience through hell would live with Klimov forever. Yet despite these beginnings, he eventually found his way into film. He started his career with comedies and satires. Nearly every
So he went from comedies and stuff. He went from one extreme to the other. Like,
film that he's made has faced some form of interference, delays, or even bans from the Soviet authorities. Yet despite the censorships, he would go on to make these types of films until 1979.
if him using real bullets in a film didn't get censored, what could he possibly have been doing to get censored?
When something terrible happened. His wife, Larissa Shepitko, also an acclaimed filmmaker, had died in a car accident. And to say that her death had devastated Klimov is a gross understatement. Shortly after her death, he fell into a deep depression, turned to alcohol, and created a 25-minute documentary honoring her legacy. And even more notably,
Oh
right
my days.
Well, one of the
yeah, that was bad timing for an ad. That was quite inappropriate. Come on, YouTube. Yeah, but I think that probably just opened up his mind so much. His wife died. He's just probably started thinking about life again, and I guess that's why it made the movie, right? Let's see what Joe's got to say.
we talked about this previously too. When men lose their wives, they're much worse off statistically than women losing their husbands, because when you think about it,
Does remind me of, do you see in films when the main character's wife dies and they go for someone instantly? Oh, what my days, I hate that so much. I was like in Dexter, when Rita died and he instantly went to Lumen, one of the most annoying characters in the show. I understand Hannah going to Hannah after because it's a long enough time period, but going straight to Lumen after, what the flip's that? And then in The Walking Dead, you had everything happening between Shane and Rick about Laurie, and then Laurie dies, and he goes to Michonne in a couple months. Like, it's a couple months from, is it season 3 to season 5? Actually, I think he might get her to season 4. I can't remember, but it's only a couple months, and he gets her straight after. Like, what? Why? I hate it when you do that. If you're going to make it such a big deal of them being together and then they die, make them not be together for a bit longer. Make it more realistic, like, instead of whatever rubbish you're coming up with.
who, as a man generally, the only people that truly like interact with you on a deep level are your mom and your wife. Sometimes a friend. But I'm saying, like, men don't really open up to other men. They don't really have deep conversations with other men. And so it's a lot harder to lose that person.
No, I don't know. That's an outtake from Joe. I think I have quite deep conversation with quite a few of my friends and my sister as well. So, yeah, I think Joe needs to open up a bit more, if I'm being honest.
Statistically, he's right. Statistically, he's right. I think I've got friends on the basis that I could talk to them like that 100%. But statistically, especially back then when it was like a bit shunned upon, that guy was. I mean, his wife died. Like, come on.
Yeah, no, I can definitely see that.
He was. He probably had no one to talk to really, assuming his mother is also dead. If like rest in peace, obviously. But he probably had no one to talk to. But he probably just. Well, I'm hoping. Is it a good thing? Yeah, I guess he's putting that towards his film, maybe.
When you have so few of that,
If it's still all not making sense, if like all this is happening, why are you using real bullets? And like, is using real bullets in a film? Is this supposed to be portrayed as a bad thing, or supposed to be portrayed as a good thing? Because from what I'm seeing in it, it's sort of being portrayed as a good thing. But like, why is it being portrayed as a good thing?
those people, women are not always, and I'm not saying this is applicable to all men and all women, but women generally can fall back on other women a lot easier than men can because you don't have that stronger relationships with men. Women usually, at least from what I've seen, women tend to have a lot closer bonds than men do. And I'm not saying that men aren't friends or close friends with each other, but a lot of that shit.
I see the exact opposite. Basically, any woman or any girl I've talked to, whether it be my mum, my sister, like some like my girlfriends at some point, female or just female friends, they're always getting in arguments with their other friends. Always, they're never not in an argument with their friends, and then they like end their friendship and then get with they find some other friends. Like, I don't get that. I barely ever have arguments with my friends. I don't really know what he's on about here.
Doesn't get real deep, right? Guys get real deep when they get drunk, right? And you're like, you know,
Drunk, see drunken fashions. Oh my days! I see when someone starts going like they're drunk and then they start going, "Oh, I love you so much." It's not the other. Like, Doug, I appreciate the sentiment. I appreciate the sentiment, but you're slobbering all over me. You can barely like speak a single sentence without, you're slurring your words so much, and like I like, okay, yeah, that's fine. But then they keep going and going, and oh flip, like it's so awkward, especially when you're more sober than them. I guess if you're both in the same level of drunk, it's good, but like it's the most random people as well do it to you. You might have someone you talk to once in your life, generally once in your life, and they'll come up to you, oh, Roger, I love you. I should think you're the best friend. I respect you so much. But then the next day they'll just call you a flipping stupid knob. No, worse than that even, but yeah. Family friendly.
oh man, I really love you, bro. You're like, you like truly care about me, and I really fuck with that. You don't have that sober.
I think older generations definitely. Maybe.
Okay, no, I think what he's getting at is women can do that more openly. They don't have to be drunk to say that. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't really go around saying to my friends, I love you this, I love you that. Because I'll be a bit awkward, lad. But I think guys when doing it is just joking with each other. I think the level of jokes you can do, it just shows their. What's the thing I say all the time? It's like tapping your differences through joking about them. I think that's a better way of doing it. Instead of just going, I love you this, I love you that. Like, I just think that's quite awkward doing that.
I mean, I'm like same generation as Joe. I'm like 20. Joe's like what, 23, 24? I'm not sure. But
Holy uncle, holy flipping unk.
I know most of my friends since like primary school or like early college, but I can tell my friends I love you. I can tell my friends I love you, but I think most men, like you're saying,
No.
definitely like men that feel like they need to be a lot more masculine, they will not open up about this stuff. And if they do, it will be to like their wives or their mum, and a lot of men regret it. They'll do it.
Okay, no, I don't think it's a whole thing about being more masculine. I just think it's a bit awkward. I genuinely just do think it's a bit awkward. The only person I really say I love you to is like my mum or something. That's about it.
And they'll regret it. They'll open up and it instantly, I think they'll like feel themselves shrivel up and they'll just wish they never did it again.
For conversation with another male friend. Usually. You do at times, but most of those things, it's like you're drunk and you're like, I love you. Women will just have those conversations and talk about deep things, right? Do that with their mom. Guys will do that with their wife, right? So it's like, that is horrible. He already lived a terrible life, and now he has to fucking lose his wife on top of that. And what, did that motivate him to make this film?
He never made another comedy again.
I mean, would you blame him? Not making another comedy again? Do you blame him?
Yeah, he switched to Civil Wars in the studio instead.
all of his subsequent
Wow. That's got to be that really hurt him then. Because I feel like people use comedy
As a coping.
a
as
lot of the
coping
time
device.
to get out of shitty situations
Yeah.
and perceive shitty things in a better light. Like a lot of the time you use jokes and comedy about fucked up things that happen to you because it makes you feel better about them. Yeah, it's a coping mechanism, making things funny. That's why, like, not all comedians, but like the people that you would deem as most funny in your life, a lot of the time went through shit because like top tier comedians have to willingly joke about the stuff they went through.
were repeatedly blocking his project, but he refused to compromise, and he knew the film was too important, that if he were to make it, it had to be done right. Finally, in 1985, something incredible.
But he's lost everything at this point, so he obviously feels like he needs to put something out that is just so purely authentic to the actual situations that he lived through. He doesn't want to like shun upon it. He doesn't want to like sugarcoat it. He wants to show people what it's like.
Happened.
He's got nothing else. We don't know everything about him, but his wife's gone. You know, he's clearly depressed. I bet he probably tunnel visioned so hard in this film, probably got into the craziest flow state. I know it sounds messed up, but he probably did get into the craziest flow state when he started making this film.
This is Hattin. It is a bone-chilling recount of the Hattin massacre. A massacre in which
about to say, is
the
that not odd?
Nazis locked an entire village into a barn and then set the barn on fire, with half
Damn.
of the inhabitants being children. The occupation of Belarus was one of the most brutal campaigns of World War II. Over 600 villages met the same fate. The book was formed from a collection of testimonies from those who
I can't take this audio seriously. That's the Yap audio on TikTok. Like I cannot take it seriously. Like you could choose any other audio, but the Yap audio on TikTok.
somehow survived. This is the writer, Ales Adamovich. In June 1941, when the war came to Belarus, he was just 13 years old. After the war, Adamovich became a writer. Him and his co-authors would travel across Belarus, collecting real survivor testimonies. He ended up co-writing the novel Hattin, which would become one of the primary sources for Come and See. Several directors were pitched to adapt his stories, but Adamovich refused them all. He insisted that there was only one director who could do the material justice. Together, they would create something that didn't glorify war or turn it into an adventure story, but showed as it truly was. But even with Adamovich and
That's what I'm saying. He just wanted to show the side of war that isn't spoken about today. Because back then, everyone knew what it was like. Like most people knew it was like, but like our generation now, you think of war, you think of soldiers going out. You don't think of the people staying home. You don't think of the people eating the ration. You don't think of the people who had to cope with the people that are away. You don't think about the wives that stay at home. You don't think about the kids that stay home. You think about the soldiers going out there. When that isn't even half of the story. There's so many people who are at home, terrified, not really even know what's going on, not even knowing if the loved ones are coming back. And I think it's really good that even if he's not fully showing that, even when he shows the war, he'll be showing it from a more realistic aspect. He's showing the fear in people's eyes. He's not showing like the he's not trying to like glorify at all basically what this guy has just said. He's not trying to make it seem like this guy went off and he shot some guy in the head. He shot a Nazi in the head. Oh, he's a hero. He is trying to show it just as these are people. These are real people, and these are real things that they've lived through.
Klimov's clear vision, the film remained censored for years until 1985, when the 40th anniversary of Victory Day finally gave them the opening they needed. They had the green light, but they still needed one more piece: the boy. Alexei Kravchenko was not an actor. In fact, he didn't care about the film world at all. He had only showed up to the audition to support his friend, who wanted the lead role. Kravchenko went along for moral support, nothing more. And it turns out he ended up being chosen. To prepare Kravchenko for the role, Klimov...
But why did they pick this kid that had no interest in acting to play a very gritty, sad role?
Probably because he'd be authentic. He doesn't have like the act. I'm gonna guess it's because he doesn't have the acting methods, so he won't be able to over exaggerate. He won't be able to like mess up the acting because they're chucking him in and it's gonna feel so real to him that they're just gonna get his authentic reaction. Plus, he has a kind of scared looking face. Let's be real.
Yeah, but then surely using that same logic, when you just like get non-actors for everything. If actors are worse, going off Tristan's logic, wouldn't you use non-actors for everything? But then again, they are using real bullets in this. But I wonder if they are warned about. They must have been warned about it. They must have been warned about the real. I haven't actually heard anything about real bullets yet. This whole film is about in real bullets, and I haven't heard anything about it. And we're 21 minutes into this.
Yeah, like he looks freaking terrified.
In basically an adaptation of an actual historical event.
Put him on a strict hunger diet. For days at a time, the 14-year-old would only drink water and run long.
They made him starve himself. Oh
That's
my
kinda
god!
messed
To make
That's
it look
crazy.
like he was like
Starving a 14-year-old for flipping film role that he didn't even want to be in, mind you.
in like in a famine,
That's like Wizard of
like
Oz
just
level shit.
fully like thinning himself.
Like messing them up.
Distances to lose weight. Klimov was also deeply concerned about the potential psychological toll the film would take.
Oh my god! Well, because they were making him like method act almost too.
Basically.
So they didn't even get him an actor. They just actually made him basically just go through this stuff. This man actually just wanted to project all of his flipping trauma onto this kid. That's actually crazy.
Like not even just lose the weight to fit the, I guess, physical sense of the role, but also like make him feel and look exhausted constantly.
The lead. To protect Kravchenko, Klimov brought in a psychotherapist trained in hypnosis. The plan was to hypnotize Kravchenko during the most violent scenes so they wouldn't traumatize them.
God.
But after testing, they discovered that Kravchenko was not susceptible to hypnosis. Kravchenko would later describe the shoot as the happy recollections of my childhood.
Huh?
After the film wrapped,
What could
Kravchenko-
possibly happen for him for that to be the best moments? Like him portraying like this man's actually like worst, like the worst parts. Wait, I actually can't remember who was. Yeah, the man's worst part in his life.
who did not act again for another 13 years. Making hell on earth. From the very start, Klimov had one guiding principle: tell the truth. Klimov's goal was to capture as much realism as possible. Each member of the cast and crew felt a huge responsibility to those who had died. As Klimov said, "I have the will to tell the story for truth, even if it takes 9 months to make the movie, and even if
10 years, by the way. 10 years it took.
Well, that's what sucks about a lot of American like war.
So if that kid was 14 when it started, he was 24 when it ended. So, flippin' heckler.
films is we like broadcast ourselves as the heroes and the victims a lot of the time when we're the ones that are like actively just fucking killing innocent people. Like, not in every instance. I'm not saying like World War II films, but like every Vietnam film is like, not everyone, but a lot of Vietnam War films, it's like,
I think I've actually watched a film about the Vietnam War ever.
oh, dude, they make you feel for the Americans. When it's like, yeah, we are Americans, obviously, you're going to have some sort of feeling for them, but it's like, they're not, they kind of like overshadow the fact that like we were just like effectively murdering innocent Vietnamese people in like regular ass situations.
So the genocide when Israel does it, but not when America does it. Not quite too sure like the specifications on genocide, but I think killing as many like civilians as they did in Vietnam, I think that's quite bad. No repercussions for America though, because you know it's America.
Not even like
They're the good
not
guys.
even just like, hey, we're sending you to war because you have to fight these people. They would just like kill innocent fucking families in Vietnam.
if no one watches it.
I don't know a lot about Vietnam, to be honest. That's really interesting. As someone who only really sees it through the media, I have not learned about the Vietnam War. I don't really know much about it. I sort of assumed, well, obviously nothing's black and white, but yeah, I would say
I'm still waiting for Oversimplified's video on it. I don't know if he actually hasn't flipping video on it. Let's see. No, Oversimplified. Ah, yeah, he still doesn't have it. Yeah, it's a copycat. It's not actually Oversimplified. Yeah, I'm still waiting on his video on it, so that's when I'll figure out.
I'd be more likely to take the American side because of the media that I've consumed and the films that I've seen. So it's a very interesting point.
Production is
I didn't know like obviously I knew messed up stuff was happening, but I didn't didn't gauge it.
Tristan looks a bit like Italian Botch. Do you not see it? I think he looks a lot like Italian Botch.
That much. I never really acknowledged it. But I guess it's just like my education, I guess. There's a lack of education on the subject.
Designer Viktor Petrov initially tried using pyrotechnics for the explosions. But when Klimov saw the results, he wasn't satisfied. The explosions didn't sound real, they didn't feel real. So Klimov made the ultimate decision that would shock everyone: to use real explosives and live ammunition. This created an atmosphere of real terror among the actors. In one scene, Kravchenko
Real terror among the actors, bro, but they could have died.
and a cow were placed in the
I mean, he was just projecting his drama. That's literally it.
middle of a field while live rounds were fired around them. Kravchenko was so terrified that he found
Cow
himself
would not fly today, by the way. Live cow, and for good reasons. You gotta go. Good stream as usual. Thanks for sticking around. I'm ending after this video.
W for sticking around. W for sticking around.
Anyway, don't worry. It's the last thing in the stream. See you next Wednesday if you're here. Probably be streaming again.
clinging to Klimov after, asking, "Is there anything else?" Klimov told him to go back into the scene. The entirety of the film was shot on location in Belarus. Everything was real. Even the extras, the villagers, were real survivors or descendants of survivors from the Belarusian fire villages.
That's awesome.
God, how do you even get in contact with that many survivors though?
To prepare the villagers, Ales Adamovich gathered them in a circle and read chapters from his book. He recounted the testimonies of those who had survived the horrors of war. Many of the villagers had heard stories from their parents or grandparents. Some had survived the war as children. The entire crew was under constant stress. But as the production designer later said, all the hardships helped us. Everyone was under constant strain, and it had a powerful effect on the crew. God himself was helpful to us, for the fog not lifting.
Dude, it fucking blows, man. Ugh. Oh, this is making me sad. This is making me sad. Stop.
For the special effects to work, for the crowd scenes with the locals and army personnel to work in harmony. Chapter 4. Truth.
It's horrible.
I'm gonna have to end it here, guys. I do gotta go.
What the
gotta
f-
go.
Why
That was a
would
good
you?
video, though. What do you think you'll revisit the Minecraft world? Next week? I don't know. Soon, I guess. I can make a Minecraft video in the week.
Why are we ending this so quick?
But it's funny how some kids are
Get
bad
no,
at
no, get out of here, no. Why are we ending this so quickly? Flip's sake. Smash like, subscribe, and I'll see you. Roger's out. Roger out.